Good evening. Am I audible? Is this volume okay?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Bharat, for those wonderful words of introduction, which I so richly deserve, but I very rarely get. I'm not joking. My first mentor in public speaking told me, whenever you get a highly flattering introduction, don't say I don't deserve all this. I asked him why. He said the audience is soon going to find out anyway, so you don't take the trouble. I don't know what we are going to find out at the end of the 30 minutes. I'm extremely delighted to be speaking at Tirunelveli Toastmasters. Firstly, I think you deserve a heartfelt congrats and applause for the 175th meeting. Highly laudable achievement. I'm not saying this just like that because in my own 20 years of Toastmasters experience, I've helped start 12 Toastmaster clubs, and I've also tried to start 10 more. So I strongly believe in the dictum, to open a Toastmasters club is easy. To keep it open is not easy. So I think that's why you deserve full credit. Second, I'm closely attached to Tirunelveli and the surrounding thereof. In fact, my name itself, Chendil Kumar, is a result of my father's favorite temple, that is Chendil. Of all the temples, he said that is the one that used to attract him the most, and that's why I was named. Is there any numerology in Chendil, Chendil? No, I asked him. He said, this is the way this has to be pronounced. Now, after that, I revived my connection with Tirunelveli for 5 continuous years, or maybe intermittently. I've been visiting Kulasekarapatnam, Kulasai, as most of you know. And usually I used to stay in Tirunelveli and then go there to witness the grand Dasara festival. Of course, last year, I couldn't go for the past 2 years. But what I'm trying to tell you is my connection with Tirunelveli is very, very real. And the food that I have is authentic. Not the kind of pizzas that your MC was talking about, but the kind of earthy, ethnic food that you get in Tirunelveli. Don't be surprised if I can give you some tips on small joints, messes, where you get some absolutely wonderful food. The only hitch is you have to take your own leaves and put it. And if your neighbor is, tripping, it creates a lot of mess. Forget all that. Now we are here to discuss the topic, why am I addicted to Toastmasters? And this morning, something happened at home. I was in my own club's Toastmasters meeting, and generally I request my wife to prepare some tea and she keeps it in the adjacent room. And today I was so engrossed in the meeting that I forgot to collect it, and we almost had an altercation. He said, what makes you so engrossed that you're not even worried about the tea? And when I asked her to make again in the evening, she said, no, you come and stand here, only then I'll make. So this has been worrying people, not just my family. Why are you so hopelessly intertwined with Toastmasters after having been a member for 20 years? Now, if you want to know the answer, I think we just have to do a quick flashback to my past. I did my engineering from MIT Manipal. Yes, the same engineering college that Satya Nadella went to of Microsoft, but the comparison ends there, nothing more. I'm just making a fact, that's all. Now, what happened, you can see my looks. It was very difficult to get a second look from a girl. Forget second look, even first look was a problem. But then the JCs conducted an effective public speaking program. And after that, I was asked to MC the college function. And I noticed that I was suddenly becoming noticeable. I realized the power of public speaking. Unfortunately, after that, 15 years, I lost touch. Although I used to excel in debates in college and I represented the college in many functions, I lost touch for 15 years because I was getting into lots of businesses. But then I noticed a small write-up. I attended my first Toastmasters meeting in Bangalore as a guest, and I liked what I saw there. there was a segment called Table Topics. And they said this is normally thrown open for members. They normally wouldn't give topics to guests. But you know, the ego in me was aroused. Who am I? A debating champion of college. I said, I would like to be given a topic. The members were surprised, but I got a topic. 22 seconds, exactly 22 seconds. I got up, I froze, and then I sat down. That was the moment I decided, I think there's no way I'm going to join this club. I willingly went and made a fool of myself. They didn't ask me. I went and offered myself as a sacrificial goat. And I'm sure all of them are mocking at me and making fun of me in their minds. There is no way I'm going to get back to this club. During the break, one of the senior Toastmasters came and said, hey, CK, congrats. Congrats. I thought this was a refined way of pulling somebody's leg. I made a fool of myself and somebody comes and says, congrats. Then he told me, no, CK, I mean it. In Toastmasters, we don't give topics to guests because we don't want to embarrass them. But I like your spirit. You volunteered. Forget whether you spoke for 20 or 40 seconds. You got up to speak and tried. This is the spirit of Toastmasters. It was that moment I decided this movement is for me. That was the life-changing moment for me. And needless to add, I changed my business. I was dealing with industrial adhesives. Toastmasters gave me the confidence to talk, to speak, to train. And as the MC said, this has taken me to more than 20 countries. I've been a visiting faculty at some of the topmost business schools, addressed the Wharton, all because of the confidence that this unique medium gives. Now, you can always say that maybe after 2 to 3 years, I could have as well said, I've gained enough. There's nothing more to learn in Toastmasters. But you don't realize, apart from, getting your own skills sharpened, you become a source of inspiration to others without your knowledge. I remember there was a district conference in Mysore, District 92. There was a young boy who came up to me and said, CK, sir, you may not recognize me. You came to my club. He was a member of a club called DJs. And I went in as a guest. He said, I was giving my icebreaker and I was frankly nervous beyond myself. I almost stopped, words failed me. And I thought I'll say midway, I'll stop. But then I casually looked at you. I didn't know who you were, but you were always nodding, smiling, acknowledging every word that I said. And frequently I looked at you, you gave me the same response. And that is why I completed my icebreaker. I tried to meet you, but you had left during the break. And today, sir, I'm one of the finalists in the district international speech competition. Tell me something, do you need to be blessed to get such kind of approval, right? Without consciously making an effort, I've encouraged somebody. And then I realized the importance of listening in Toastmasters, the importance of paying attention. I think attention is the greatest gift you give to Toastmasters. For heaven's sake, please, especially, I'm so glad to see so many of you with your videos on. At least I know that I'm speaking to a live set of audience. I've been to many clubs where I speak only to all these pictures. I don't know whether they are reacting, whether they like, or whether they hate, or they are shouting at me. So this is a very good practice. Attention, very important. This, I think, I must, congratulate you people. And the reason I continued was not just because of my mentees, not just because we seem to have some other effect on people, also because of the tremendous stories and networking that we have in the field of Toastmasters. This is my story. I was living in Dubai for 3 years. So I used to visit many clubs. I was a member of many clubs. I was also a member of Star of Arabia club. There was a member called Shankar who said, he had lost his job. He was laid off and he was moving to India within a week. So he gave his farewell speech and we all wished him well. And everything was over. Next week, he promptly comes back. We were all shocked. What happened? Ticket got postponed or anything? He said, let me tell you, this is a story I must tell you. So he said, just after the Toastmasters meeting, I think 2 days later, his company had organized a farewell function for 3 people who were getting laid off and who were going back to India or Philippines. It seems he just gave an acceptance or a farewell speech for 2.5 minutes. His CEO was present in the audience. And immediately after this, he called his HR manager and said, why are we letting such an effective communicator leave our organization? He went through his records. He said, forget everything. He reinstated him and he got a 3-year contract. And he said, that's why I'm here. I mean, this is all fact, Star of Arabia Club. So you see what effect this has. That's why I'm telling you, the more I get addicted, because this is a very supportive movement. When you fail or when you mess up, nobody's going to make fun of you, or nobody's going to mock you, but they're going to say, we were there sometime back and we are here to hold hands with you. I'll tell you why. Many newcomers to Toastmasters may feel we do a lot of whitewashing. You know, for everything we start applauding, for everything we start praising and all that. But there is a logic. Not everybody who comes into Toastmasters is a fabulous speaker or a confident speaker. For most of them, getting up and speaking itself is a huge challenge. And Toastmasters provides that platform and says, don't worry, stay with us. We will give you the right kind of pitch. And I'll never forget the advice one of the senior Toastmasters gave me. Most of us feel nervous because you think audience is focusing only on you. No, they are not focusing on you. Their focus is what will they do when they come on stage. They secretly are admiring your guts, especially humorous speech, tall tales, table topics. Everybody secretly admires you. Wow, I wish I had the guts. So they said, change the focus and you will see that you can be confident. So this is why I feel there is so much of a supportive atmosphere, and nothing can change me by, this is not a program where you can drop off and say, I've done. No, I don't think so. And every time you go to a Toastmasters club, the youngsters surprise you with their knowledge. In fact, their perspectives. You can learn so much from their perspectives. And that is why I don't think Toastmasters will ever be outdated, especially if you know the value that they give. I think there are only two ways you can be connected with Toastmasters. You either are fully addicted or you just don't sync with the Toastmasters. I had the fortune of attending an international convention, Toastmasters International Convention in Orlando, Florida, my only convention. And what people you try to meet, if you think I'm trying to boast that I am addicted to Toastmasters, I have to hang my head in shame or inadequacy, because there, a lady called Martha, I think I got her name right. She befriended me at the breakfast table and she said, next year, the conference is going to be in Malaysia. I am personally inviting you because I'm going to be throwing a party. Does your birthday coincide with the date? I asked her. No. This is my 39th Toastmasters International Convention at a stretch. And next is going to be the 40th anniversary of my Toastmasters Convention. So I am throwing a party for all my friends. Is she a participant? Is she an office bearer? Is she a district champion? Nothing, just a plain ordinary member. And look at the commitment she has. She has the fact that they meet such a variety of people, listen to such wonderful speeches. Thereby, I improve my own perspective of the world. And that keeps me alive, even though people call me old. And I think these are some of the factors that still get me attached to this organization. I'm going to end my formal speech and throw it open for a bit of Q&A, because that's what I feel will be more productive. I'll end with the world famous words of the first woman Toastmasters International President. I'm sure you must have heard this. If you can get out of Toastmasters all that you can get out of Toastmasters, then you can never get out of Toastmasters. And I've seen this fully in my life. And that's why I'm telling you why I am addicted to Toastmasters. Mr. Toastmaster. Let's throw it open. If we still have time, we'll throw it open for a couple of questions or comments, and I'll be happy to have a dialogue, because I feel this way is better.
Timer, do we have time? Can you please inform me?
We have time.
All right. So the floor is open for Q&A. I request members to please raise your concerns or share your feedbacks about Toastmasters with our distinguished Toastmaster, so that it would be a good platform for mutual sharing, understanding of what is happening in Toastmastering, how members are getting benefited out of it. So for ease of members, let me begin with it. It's been a very short journey for me with the Toastmastering, and it's to be precise, it's hardly 8 months for me.
Sure.
And out of this 8 months, I have 2 learnings with me out of Toastmastering. One, I have learned how to construct a sentence. To be more precise, I have learned how to convey the way I speak with a person through my wordings or through my sentences by giving a right importance to by giving importance to right words at right positions, so that the stress and the pause is rightly communicated to the other party. So this is the first learning. Second, earlier it was like, if I'm asked to, so I'm more fond of giving speeches and public speeches and oration. So when I'm called for any public meeting or any social meeting, I used to speak on a topic which I feel comfortable, and I used to present the content which I am aware of it and I am comfortable of it. But after Toastmastering, I learned a very important aspect, that you should not speak what you know. You should speak what the audience is in need of. They are the target people. So you have to satisfy the target people. You have to make them understand. You have to give them some input. So that is the second biggest learning for me. And now I am trying to evolve myself to ensure, if I'm called for a public speak, then my first criteria or first requirement should be, I have to study my audience. What are the classifications of audience? Who are the quality, or what is the kind of people I'm going to give my speech? Based on that, I used to script my speech. So that is the second refinement which I'm currently working on. These 2 are takeaways which I'm currently working on. But to be honest, these are the 2 takeaways over the past 8 months. So the first point I have already shared with my club members as a testimony. But since this platform, since you have opened the topic that you are addicted to Toastmastering, I felt that this is the right place to share these 2 points. So that is from me.
Sure. Great. I know. I think your experiences is what will shape you. Exactly. That's what will shape you. And because of the role of grammarian, you get refined. Sentence structure, how do you pronounce certain words? All this becomes, and I frequently get my words corrected by some juniors, because I come from the old school, and suddenly somebody gets up and says, in fact, this morning I was corrected. I used a word called savant. It means a saint. Immediately the grammarian said, CK, it is a French word, savant. And today it is easy. As you speak, the grammarian can Google and find out the audio check. Is this guy pronouncing right or wrong? So I think, it's a wonderful medium. Yes.
So any members would like to share or have a question with the distinguished Toastmaster, please open up.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, my name is Chendil. I share your same name, and I am so happy that you have a lot of experience in Toastmasters. Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you, like, you've been traveling a lot, and have you attended clubs in other countries, and in what way have you felt that the Toastmasters meeting happening elsewhere was different than what is happening in India?
Okay, very interesting. Sorry. I have attended in, I think, almost 10 to 12 countries In UAE, for example, Dubai, Bahrain, they take the movement very seriously. In fact, the procedures followed to the toe, and their meetings, they're always very officially dressed. And Toastmasters is a family function in Dubai, because Indians get a chance to mix and they get to mingle. Every area contest becomes a family affair because people come with their entire families to cheer their contestants, and they maintain very good standards, both in terms of logistics and following the procedure. In the US, surprisingly, while there are many clubs, that is the country where it was born, there are some who function only with 5 or 6. And it is very common to see guys having a snack even as you speak. But they make sure that the seriousness of the topic is not, forgiven. But that, and Singapore, once again, and Malaysia, they take the movement very seriously. Maybe because of a preponderance of Indians over there, and we love to speak wherever we are, right? So we make it more enjoyable. And only thing is, Sri Lanka, once again, Sri Lanka also are sticklers for standards. If you visit any of the clubs, highly procedure oriented. The only way my club in Bangalore and many clubs in Bangalore we differ is, we have tried to slightly improvise on the system, because we find that a lot of time is being wasted in introduction of everybody. And in my opinion, in most of my club's opinion, a lot of value is got if your member gets to speak on the table topics, because that's where you start sharpening your skills. Somehow, because of an extensive agenda, many members go weeks without getting a topic to speak. So we made it a point. Try to cut out all inessential to and fro and allot more time for topics. That is one innovation that we do in our club. But otherwise, I think generally they have the spirit of the Toastmasters in almost every country that I've visited. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Nice to hear it. And in general, what I perceive or what I have a feel is like, be it Toastmastering or be it anything in India, we always have an out-of-box approach where we ourselves have an initiative to see where we can do a refinement, where we can improvise. That is the attitude of we Indians. But in general, a non-Indian, say, as you were explaining in UAE, they stick to the rules, they stick to the standards. They don't even deviate, or they don't even take an initiative to do some refinement based on their club activities. So that is the one thing which I can strongly say, that we Indians always go for refinement and innovations, all those type of activities.
And this has been appreciated by the head office also. The Toastmasters headquarters, they say these are all, see, otherwise we would have lost a lot of millennials to Toastmasters if the pathways was not introduced. If we thought only olden rules are sacred, we would have lost a lot of young people. That's why it encourages, and I think Toastmasters gives maximum importance to the member. Forget your titles and all that. If there is time, I think I forgot to mention this. I think it will be inspiring for all of you. I told you, I used to visit US frequently. In one of the visits, I was in Los Angeles. And just before leaving Los Angeles, it struck me that the Toastmasters World Headquarters was nearby. Those days, now it is in Colorado. I said, how can I not visit this? I took a train, the last available train from Los Angeles. But when I reached the headquarters, it was already 6 p.m. and the door was shut. It was glass door. I could see the reception inside, but they said 6 o'clock, the office closes. My cab driver felt very bad because he knew I was speaking with a lot of gusto. So I told him to take some photographs. I said, I've come so far, let me at least take some photographs. And he clicked some pictures. Just then a lady emerged out of must be some official. So she asked me what happened. So I said, I've come all the way from India. I didn't know about your rules, but it's okay. I thought I'll at least take pictures. She said, just give me a minute. And she went inside, and out came a tall, lanky person. In case some of you know, he was Ted, the CEO of, anybody remembers his name? I'm sorry, Ted Rex. How can I forget his name? Such a sweet gentleman. The CEO of Toastmasters. Anyway, you Google, you will find it immediately. In the meanwhile, you can Google and let me know. So he came out because he's very popularly splashed in all the Toastmaster magazines and everything. He came out and said, "Hi, I'm the CEO," and I told him the what he called my predicament. He said, "Most welcome." He said, and I can never forget these words. "Would you mind if I show you around the Toastmasters headquarters?" Dan Drex, thank you so much, Natasha. Natasha, incidentally, is the vice president of my club, vice president education, and she's here to support me to see that. And she must be wondering, does this guy speak the same thing in every meeting, or has he improved a bit? Well, she's doing remarkable work for her club. Anyway, Dan Drex. So he was the guy who came out and said, and I forgot to tell you one more thing. Conducted tours are conducted by Toastmaster officials when you go, and a group of people, volunteers, will take you around. He said, "Do you mind if I show you around the headquarters?" I was shocked. I said, "Definitely no mind." And even in that late hour, he spent 45 minutes with me, showing each and every place. Dr. Ralph Smedley's desk, the stationery that he used, and he started taking pictures of me there. And a full round, I met some staff who were working. It was the Christmas season. I think they were all trying to finish that work. And after that incident, I used to go and tell in all the district conferences, many of you must have taken your pictures with Dan Drex. I am perhaps the only one whose picture was taken by Dan Drex. No, look at the humility. Look at the organization which values the members. He could have easily said, "I'm sorry, why don't you come tomorrow? Because the time is up." But 45 minutes with patience, every aspect of Toastmasters he showed. That's why I'm telling you, that was one of the main reasons why I remain addicted. I'm sorry for this excess time, but this should have come in the main script here.
Thank you. Thank you. That is truly inspiring. And this is really igniting us to do have a visit to the headquarters, whether we are capable or not, whether we are going to there or not. At least we aspire. We are keeping our fingers crossed. We aspire to at least have a visit to the headquarters and understand.
Yes.
And what is more, even more better or even more attractive of Toastmasters is the cross culture, cross country culture, and people are welcoming with the both the arms. That is the beautiful thing of Toastmastering. And I truly enjoyed it. And if any members would like to have a word with our chief guest to share or ask a question. And in the meantime, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Natasha Kumar to our club's milestone meeting. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'm actually multitasking. Two of my club members are participating in the area level contest, evaluation and table topic contest. So I'm multitasking between Chendil and the club contest. But anyway, many congratulations to you on your 175th meeting. It truly is a huge milestone, and wish you many, many more successes in the years to come.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Always very inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you so much. And I think our division director, Toastmaster Arun Kumar, is present in the meeting. Sir, welcome to the Tirunelveli Toastmasters Club milestone meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Day, Toastmaster Bharat. Congratulations to Tirunelveli Toastmasters Club. Excuse me, there is a network issue in my end, so I'm not able to switch on my video. Kindly excuse, due to heavy rains, we have some fluctuations here.
Absolutely, we understand, sir, and please stay safe. Chennai is facing a huge wrath from the rain. Please stay safe.
Please stay safe. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
I
members,
just would like to,
yeah, please.
Toastmaster
Yeah,
Bharat.
please.
So good evening, Chendil Kumar sir. So
Good
thank you for accepting our invitation to deliver a wonderful speech. So I really got inspired when I got suggested by another Toastmaster friend of mine. So when she suggested, I did not have any clue of Chendil Kumar sir actually. So when I started interacting with him, and we had a lot of things in common to discuss in WhatsApp. So he also has a very good knowledge in photography, and we also shared certain things on that aspects, and a lot more in Toastmasters also. So I really thank Chendil Kumar sir for giving your time and giving a wonderful speech on why you are addicted to Toastmasters, which is really inspiring us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
True words, Toastmaster Ishwar. I totally agree with you. It is such a delight to have such a wonderful person, and always experience sharing, knowledge sharing is a true wisdom which everyone gets. We all live for hardly say 60, 70 years, and it's really tough for us to have all experiences in those 60, 70 years. So hearing from an experienced person is one way of learning it, one way of experiencing it. I truly agree with you, Toastmaster Ishwar. And I should really thank you for bringing such a vibrant person to our club on such a vibrant day. We are very happy for that. And any member would like to share or have a question with our chief guest? Timer, how much more time do we have?
Yeah, we have still more 3 minutes.
Perfect. Any members would like to share anything or ask our chief guest? Please be open. This is the right place to have your clarifications or share anything information which you like to have shared with the entire club, because this is a celebration day. We have to celebrate it.
Yeah, I would like to share my testimonial.
Please.
Why
We are happy to hear.
it's making why I am ATM actually. It was actually a 6-8 months of journey of Toastmaster. I joined in last March. I hope so. On my first day, I still remember I gave the table topics by Toastmaster FF. I got stuck in the middle, but I want to improve my communication skill. Then I addicted to Toastmaster and developed the speaking skills. But I can confidently say I cracked 2 interviews, which helped me to get into the topmost company, I would say. The second interview was with the Switzerland guy. He is a second round of interview. I spoke to him about the Toastmaster. That's making me to help me develop the public speaking. He was actually surprised to hear the Toastmaster. He was getting to know more about in the actual interview. He was getting to know more what is Toastmaster, what they are doing. I saw interest on his face. That's giving me the as DTM Chendil Kumar sir said, ATM to continuously participate in Toastmaster and helps other members to improve their communication skill and other skills. Thanks. I want to share this in our 175th milestone meeting. Still, I'm improving my communication skill. Thanks.
Life is a journey, and you're on right motion, Toastmaster Rishi Kumar. And we all club members, we do agree with you on the journey you had and the growth you had in our club. We truly acknowledge it, and you're doing a remarkable job. And distinguished Toastmaster Chendil Kumar sir, Rishi Kumar is the VPPR of our club. He is doing this PR role in such a fantabulous and excellent way that is taking our clubs to locations where even air cannot prevail. So that is the way he's doing his work in a fantabulous way. We are very happy to have such a member within our club. And usually or normally in our home, or I'm not sure about others, at least in my home, when I'm addicted to say a particular food, or if I'm addicted to say a television serial, my mom and dad would scold me. But this is one addiction which no one is going to scold. Everyone is going to encourage. And that addiction is the addiction to Toastmastering. I totally agree with you, distinguished Toastmaster. I hope members are okay. We can conclude this speech, and chief guest, distinguished Toastmaster sir, your concluding remarks on your topic, or which you would like to share. Concluding remarks.
Yeah, nothing much. I think I've said what I've had to say in my speeches. There will be moments, let me caution you, there will be moments when you suddenly feel there is a dip in the enthusiasm of members, not because of the club, but maybe because of their personal problems or something. But if you design your meetings, make them interesting, the simple thing is, why should I attend a meeting on a Sunday when I could as well be watching a movie Is there a compelling reason? Am I going to learn something? Am I going to have some fun? If you don't provide this, then it is difficult to retain members. So continuously work on this. Definitely you will be successful because you have such spirited youngsters in your team, and I wish you all the best.